Hello everybody, this is Miss Flavia with Little Blank Canvas. Today we're gonna go explore another Valentine's project. This is part of our Valentine's series, and we worked on our first one. Let me see if I can find it in here. Some of my notes over here. We work on creating a negative and positive space. So we have all the colors of the rainbow creating the little dots. And then the message being be my Valentine. Our second one was a lovely positive space where we put some roses and beautiful flowers inside a heart. And then you can write a message. And then the last one we had, we turned a strawberry into a heart-shaped strawberry. And we used some color pencils to create some shading, some highlights, some low lights, and just a nice composition. Today, we still gonna use color pencils. And I wanna create a little pot with flowers, but my flowers are gonna be shaped as hearts. So what you're gonna need is, it can be a mechanical pencil or just a regular pencil, an eraser, and your favorite colors in color pencils. So let me open over here, and I'm going to draw a little vase, a little pot for the flowers. Find something really simple right in the center of my paper, okay, to the bottom. So the first line that I'm going to have over here is going to be a slightly curved line, comes from one side to the other, and it's almost like a little smile. Then the next line I'm going to do, it's going to be right below. It's going to go parallel to that one. So it's going to follow the same shape, but it's not going to start right at the same space but below. We're just going to give a little bit of space. As we go down, we go somehow vertically, or sorry, diagonally. So I'm going to give that space, jump, and then come in a little bit more, and then create that diagonal or parallel line. Okay. So we have these two lines. Now, what we're going to do from the top line, we are going to connect with that side line that we have it at the bottom. And from the inside of this second curved line, we're going to bring a slightly curved, we're going to go down and then slightly to the side line. It's going to be curving. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then the bottom is going to be parallel to that, the two top lines that we have in here. So I'm going to create slightly curved as well. Then we have a basic shape for that pot. Make it simple, make it nice. And if you want, you can create a little line that we call the inside, so we can show that there's actually a pot, like in a 3D way. You can do that. And I'm not going to do anything else. Everything else I'm going to be drawing with my color pencils. And however my composition will happen, I'm going to be okay with this. So this is always a good exercise for you to let go of control. So there's no way that you're going to be erasing. So you can put your pencil and erasers away. And I'm going to find a color for my pot first. And I feel like maybe that teal could be a good one. I know the flowers that I want to put are going to be a little bit of violet and some reds. So I'm going to get almost like a nice bluish, greenish to help me with this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the pencil lines that I just put it on paper. That's going to be my first. And I'm pressing really hard. I want to make sure that the color really transfers to the paper. I have it in there. Now I think you guys can see it even better. And in some of the spaces that I have on that top part of the pot, I'm going to create some horizontal lines, but always following the lines that I have on top and at the bottom. I'm not going to color everything. I'm just going to leave some blank spaces over there. I'm pressing really hard because I want this to be dark. And this is a space where I know the light is not going to be shining on the side. It's going to be a little bit darker here. So I'm just going to, and then on the blank spaces that I left, very gently, I'm going to apply a little less pressure so I create a lighter shade of that same green. We can play around with this. Right below the pencil line, and we put it there, I'm going to make it really, really dark, putting a lot of pressure on my pencil. And then I'm going to start using again the pencil from one side to the other. This side of the pot is going to be slightly darker, but always keeping that motion like this. And then the bottom is going to be darker as well. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same lines, but not as dark. You can adjust. And that's going to help give that effect that this pot is rounded and is in 3D, not 3D, it's not just flat. We have some light shining that creates some shadows, and maybe there's some texture. Everything else you can fill in and leave some blank spaces as well. I'm just gonna, so you're gonna use a lot of pressure, less pressure, a very light touch. You're gonna be finding the way that your hands are gonna help you change the value from lighter to darker just by applying more pressure or less pressure. Okay, it's all about the way you hold your pencil, the way you touch your pencil on the table, hold your pencil, touch the pencil on your paper. And then inside, I'm just gonna have a little tiny little bit of that blue around in here. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so you guys can see. Okay, that first step, very simple. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to start putting the flowers, and the flowers are going to be shaped as hearts. So I'm going to get different shades of red, some orange red, and maybe some pinks over here, maybe some violets. I'm going to set them aside a little bit. And I'm going to have hearts. They're going to be just perfect, beautiful, and sideways. Some they're going to be a little bit longer, so it feels like it's flipping. I'll have a few that are going to be falling down. So when I put the stem, this is going to be all over the place, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. So I'm just going to spread love all around my paper. Just have a few. Then I'm going to put my colorway. Actually, I think we can color in and just be done with that. It doesn't matter the order. As long as you set aside and you know what color you use, it'll be easier. You can leave some spaces blank. You can actually put a little bit more pressure in some areas, leave some other areas wider, lighter. Don't have to fill in everything with the same amount of pressure. So now I can put it aside. I won't need that anymore. And I'm going to do the same thing with my next color. I can have some sideways, some a little bit closer, some that are also falling down sideways like this, some that are really tiny. And then I'm going to fill in the same way, putting a little bit of pressure, less pressure, depends on how the light is shining on them. Want to stress it too much, but if we put it a texture a little bit different here and there, in colors and value a little bit different, that gives a nice dynamic to the composition. So I'm going to put that aside again, and now I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with that red orange. I'm going to do exactly the same. Just spreading the love, finding spaces, making sure that my composition is lovely, but also very random. I'm not planning too much, but not at all. Just letting my hand guide my pencil. So I have it here. The next thing I want to do is, so I have all the hearts around. The next thing I want to do, I want to create a little bit darker over here, almost like showing there's dirt in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this brown, whatever brown you want to add it would be okay. And I'm going to make a few lines coming from one side to the other, do some cross hatching, just almost like I'm filling in the pot with some dirt, but still keeping that bluish on the back visible. You can have some areas are going to be a little bit darker, some are going to be a little bit lighter. And that's, again, it's all about the pressure you apply and how the pencil will touch your paper. Okay, there's no right or wrong. You can make some fluffy by putting some different lines, some bubbles over there. So I think I'm pretty good at that. And I'm going to start with different shades of green. So I have a light and not so light and a dark one over here. I'm going to bring a little bit of green and blend in with some of the brown that I have it in here as well. And here we go. Not putting a lot of pressure, just a little bit of pressure here and there, a light touch here and there. So we have some of that green showing inside the pot as well. And I'm going to bring a little bit closer so you see it's just a light touch. There's nothing really much. And now I'm going to find lines from these hearts to the pot that we're going to make the stem, okay? And they all, the stem are not going to be just like straight lines going around like this. They can have some curved movements and they can go sideways, they can cross each other. Some are going to be actually short and just coming down like this. So I'm going to say if I do this, I have that. This actually can even come up a little bit. This one connects and it comes inside. This one is also here. This one is coming from the side, so I can't actually see the beginning. This one is coming here. So just let your hand guide you. Don't think about it too much. I'm just gonna be playful with this. Okay. So I got the darker green for this, and now I can switch and start making these lines a little bit thicker by going on one side a little bit harder with that color that is slightly lighter than the other one that I used before. That's going to give a nice impression on this little bit of stem, and it's going to be beautiful and colorful and lovely. And if you want, we can also add a few leaves. Let's see. The most important thing is when you're drawing, when you're creating that beautiful art, that you're being mindful of the emotions you're feeling and the love that you're putting in your drawing and how you're feeling about all this. It's just about, it's having fun. It's creating something unique to give to the person you admire, you like. And I'm going to go back over here and do maybe a few leaves. We can have some that go up, some that will go down in here. Some will be a little bit thicker and some a little bit thinner, tiny, long and small and short. Again, it's about being playful. Don't think too much. Just enjoy that creation time. I'm going to have a few over here as well. Nice. And you can use any shade of green. There's no right or wrong. So I'm going to switch now and have a few lines inside of these leaves. They're going to be slightly darker. That helps giving some idea of 3D and also volume. And it's just beautiful to see different shades on these leaves. It brings a nice dynamic to the work. I'm gonna create some. If you want, you can have a little bit of that green coming out of the pot. So let's see um, if your green would blend in with the what you have, the color you have in a pot. That would be nice. If it could stand out, that would be nice too. So maybe we need to get a little bit of brown and put it together here just to make it more of that being able to see. You can have some that are coming on the back, so we don't see it falling down, and you only see this hanging from the back. We have another one over there, and this I'm gonna go with some of the darker green here, so we notice that there is some of the grass and that green coming out from the back as well. You don't have to. You can make it a little bit fluffy by going in circles a little bit. And the last thing, I mean, you can add a lot of other ideas. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this, let me get, looking for the colors that I would like to add on my work. And this is always a fun, like, what is my hands guiding me to do? I'm gonna get this caramel color that I really like. I'm gonna do some dots. I think that would be a nice composition and a nice color scheme. So I'm just gonna do a few dots over here, close to the stem and close to the petals. I'm gonna bring a little bit closer so you guys can see some. It'll be a very light touch. I really like these designs. You can fill in the space as well. And maybe I'm gonna incorporate a little bit of that lighter caramel to the pot as well. I think that would be nice. And then last but not least, we're getting towards the end. I'm gonna do a little shadow, a little mark over here. I think I'm gonna get this, let's see, a purple, or let's see if I can find a different shade of purple, a little bit darker purple. Yeah, I think this purple would be nice. We're gonna try. So I'm gonna have just a few coming from the pot and sideways. Press a little bit harder as it connects to the pot, and then lighter as we have the rest of the table or the surface where this is standing on. And again, it's all about the pressure you apply, moving that on your paper. And I'm just gonna put my initials over here. If you want, again, you can work on a nice paper, Bristol paper, drawing paper. You can make it really big. Just be playful. If you want to bring some of the color you use for the petals and just have a few of these colors reflecting here on that dirt inside the pot, I think that would be a nice composition as well. Try not to add a lot of different colors at once. I think would be very lovely. If you have a very simple color scheme and selection of colors, so your palette would be really simple, but it's all about fun, putting your favorite colors, creating something that is meaningful, unique, creative. And you can write a message, maybe even here on the pot, maybe saying something like planting the seeds of love, or anyway, or happy Valentines, let my love for you grow. I don't know, there are many things that you can write. I know you can find better ideas than I do. And you can use it as a greeting card again, or you can use to frame and give it as a gift. Will be as original as it can get. There is no secret to it, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you share with friends and family so we can color the world. We're gonna have a lot of free tutorials, a lot of more videos. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And again, check the website littleblankcanvas.com for more information about classes, our virtual art club, and our art club on demand. We also have classes in Portuguese. So just log in there, make sure that you find the information. Otherwise, you just contact us. You can send an email to littleblankcanvas@gmail. And I would love to see your work, the work that you're creating. So you can tag us when you post it, or just send an email to littleblankcanvas@gmail.com so we can see the beautiful art that you are spreading in the world. So thank you very much, guys. Happy Valentine's. And I see you guys on our next video. We're going to post another one tomorrow. Bye, everybody.